Hello everyone, and welcome to this video on open source intelligence for private investigators. In a previous video, I first explained to you what is open source intelligence and how it's used. So you want to go back and take a look at that video, and the link is down below. Now in this video, we're going to specifically talk about open source intelligence for private investigators. So whether or not you realize it at the time, you probably collected open source intelligence at some point in your investigative career. True to its name, OSINT is open source, meaning that all the information is available to the general public. Since OSINT is accessible to anyone, it might not seem like a valuable tool private investigators can add to their kit. However, one of the notable characteristics of open source intelligence is just how much data it encompasses, and information is power. But wading through all the data to get to the useful information takes skill and the right resources. In this video, I'm going to teach you more about this skill and how you can harness it for your investigations. First, let's take a look at what open source intelligence is. Open source intelligence is a variety of data encompassing countless topics and subjects. If you need a specialist to access information that it does not qualify as open source. OSINT is not limited to what you can find via popular search engines. There are sites on the deep web that are not indexed or found by your regular search engine, though the information is still legal to obtain by the general public. This creates a lot of data which qualifies as OSINT. Access to this type of vast information is both a blessing and a curse in that you can find a lot of what you need, but you have to sort through a lot of useless data to get it. Even with all this information, chances are you will not find everything you need to make or break a case. These OSINT limitations make this information most useful alongside other forms of intelligence. Let's talk about what makes information open source. Information is typically considered open source if it fits into any one of these descriptions. Published or broadcast for public viewing. This includes news, radio, podcasts, TV, etc. Available to the public by request such as census data. Available to the public by subscription or purchase. This could include industry journals, academic publications, dissertations, conference proceedings, and things like that. Seen or heard by a casual observer. Obtained by visiting a certain location or attending a public event. Stored in public record databases. Government reports, documents, and websites. Social networks and social media sites. The internet at large, which includes blogs, forums, videos, and image sharing sites, metadata and digital files, and dark web resources, etc. Company profiles, annual reports, company news, employee profiles and resumes, and geospatial information or maps and commercial imagery products. Let's take a look at the OSINT tools. Since there's so much information to sort through in order to achieve your investigation goals, tools are essential to comb through and organize OSINT effectively. But there are a couple of things to keep in mind before you start filling your toolbox. First and foremost, have a strategy. I talk about this in the other video, and a set of goals laid out before starting your search. Even with the best tools at your fingertips, you need a clear purpose in order to use them properly. You also need to know how to use them. Many people use Facebook's graphic search function to gather OSINT, but were at a loss when the company decided to shut down that particular function. But those who understood the tool's role and the theory behind it found ways to work around the inconvenience. So before you go out and equip yourself with a bunch of tools, understand what they accomplish and how they accomplish it so that you don't become reliant on them. Let's look at some commonly used tools. There are a great number of tools you can use and learn more about by taking in-depth courses and training on them. But here I'm going to give you just a couple to introduce you to the basics of OSINT. You're going to learn about Google Dork Queries, Maltego, Shodan, The Harvester, ReconNG, 10i, and MetaGoofle. Let's look at each one of them separately. First is Google Dork Queries. While simple search queries do not always get you the information you need, Google Dork Queries specify your search and index the results more efficiently. For example, you can use ext to search for a particular extension, or INURL to search for a specific string in a URL, or INTEXT in-text to search for certain text in a page. Next, let's examine Maltego. This tool is perfect for tracking the online movements of a single entity. It collects information from various sources, analyzes the relationship between pieces of information, and uses transforms to generate results in a graph format that's easier for you to understand. Shodan is commonly known as the search engine for hackers. It provides information about various kinds of digital assets and networks that connect to the internet. It can help you find servers, routers, webcams, and more, while also giving their location and who's using them. The Harvester is a tool that's ideal for gathering email accounts and domain-related information from public sources. It is also useful for those who want to know what a hacker or a bad actor can see about their organization. Recon NG is similar to Maltego, and this tool is effective for collecting information about a certain target, but it uses the power of modular tools. It contains numerous modules, including DNS and email and web application reconnaissance. Tenai is for use if you need information about an online image, and this tool is definitely the way to go. You can use it to perform any image-related search on the web, including whether an image is available online and where that image has appeared. And finally, Metagoofle. Metagoofle is a command line tool that you can use to gather the metadata of public documents. Those who use this tool can scan for a specific type of document on a specific domain. So let's talk about how PIs can use OSINT. OSINT has a variety of uses in different situations, from uncovering information for security reasons to gathering marketing data, but it is especially useful to private investigators as they filter information for various cases. There's so much information you can gather online, there are very few investigators that OSINT won't help. More specifically, OSINT allows PIs to locate targets, their assets such as phones and cars, their co-workers, and even their habits and frequented locations. OSINT also keeps investigators from going into cases blind. It provides the information needed to create a solid surveillance plan. OSINT also helps navigate social media platforms. Even if someone is deliberately hiding and not doing things to create a record in a professional database, they'll be found using OSINT because people are just not willing to give up their instant audience. Just remember that in order to use any online information as evidence in court, it must be forensically preserved to be considered valid. Bottom line, if people aren't found in databases, they can be found with OSINT. Well, that's it for this video, folks. If you want to learn more about private investigation or become a private investigator, check out my private investigator career course at privateinvestigationsacademy.com. It is jam-packed with 35 lessons on everything you need to possibly know to be a private investigator. And by the way, when you get my course, you also get a free vacation to one of 51 available locations, and I have a 3-payment plan available. So again, check out my PI career course at privateinvestigationsacademy.com. I'll see you on the next video.